A body was found this afternoon at an active structure fire. What we know so far coming up on News 18 at 11.
All right, the roads are improving now. There is less wind, and we don't have nearly as much blowing and drifting as we had last night. We'll talk more about what's expected for tomorrow's outlook next.
And a charitable organization doubled their donation to a Lafayette hospital this year. The difference a toy can make. Coming up in just a few minutes on News 18 Weekend Report.
News 18 Weekend Report starts now. WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Good evening. I'm Perry Apostolakos. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Clinton County Dispatch has confirmed to News 18 a body was found this afternoon at an active structure fire. Dispatch confirms first responders were called to a residence on East County Road 600 North at about 2:45 this afternoon. One body was found by first responders. Deputies and fire personnel were dispatched to the scene. No other details are available at this time. News 18 has reached out to the sheriff's office for comment, but we have not yet heard back. And around 3:30 p.m., authorities responded to a house fire in Cass County. Cass County Sheriff Ed Schroeder confirms a house fire was called in regarding a residence on West Miami Avenue in Logansport. Schroeder tells News 18 records entry shows all people in the house got out. No other details are available at this time. News 18 will provide updates on that as soon as they become available. And Lafayette police have arrested multiple people in response to a reported shooting. On Friday around 7:18 p.m., officers responded to a report of a shooting in the 900 block of North 10th Street. Police believe the resident of the house was attempting to sell property to 23-year-old Marshawn Bowles. After the sale fell through, the resident went back inside the house where he told police Bowles fired one shot at his house as he was leaving the area. Several hours later, around 8:43 p.m., police responded to a suspected robbery. The victim told police he was robbed at gunpoint by Marshawn Bowles. Officers located the suspect's vehicle and Bowles was taken into custody along with his driver, Eunice Osborne. Continued investigation led LPD to obtain a search warrant for a residence in the 1500 block of Broadway Street. There, 41-year-old Andrea Gonzalez was arrested on drug charges. She posted bond right before 4 a.m. Also at that residence, 51-year-old Toby Jewell was arrested on multiple drug charges. Jewell's mugshot is not available. And 34-year-old Monica Williams was charged with possession of paraphernalia and a syringe. Williams is not at the Tippecanoe County Jail currently, according to a staffer that we spoke with. The last record of her being at the jail was on November 30th. Now, we can't forget about those who are braving the conditions on a nightly basis. In response to the hazardous weather, Lafayette Urban Ministry opened its winter warming station 3 hours early last night. Those hours will continue through Sunday, meaning the center will be open from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. LUM will also be providing transportation from the LTHC Homeless Services Day Shelter to both the winter warming station and emergency shelter. The emergency shelter provides an overnight shelter, meals, and showers in a safe environment. The shelter holds up to 44 adults and is located on 4th Street, just down the road from LUM's main building. The winter warming station, meanwhile, lays out 20 mats inside the main building. LUM Executive Director Wes Tillett says it's urgent for all to take shelter during these freezing temperatures.
This is a deadly cold. I mean, this is the kind of cold that your skin can freeze within a matter of minutes for a frostbite, but you're not gonna spend the night out there in the elements and things go well for you. So I just don't want anybody to think they can just kind of cowboy up and survive this thing.
Tillett also says even though there are only 20 mats in the warming station, all are welcome inside and they will not be turning anyone away. Now we're going to send it on over to Storm Team 18's Chad Evans to give us an update on how long these freezing temperatures are going to last. Hey, Chad.
Yeah, hey there, Perry. You know, on this Christmas Eve, it is still rough outside. It's just not as bad as it was last night or even earlier today and certainly the day before. Nonetheless, we still have at least a wind chill advisory up. Right through tomorrow morning, right up to 11 a.m. due to wind chills dropping 20 below zero or less at times. We're running single digits to 10 right now, but the winds are still sustained in the 20s. 23 miles an hour at the Grissom Air Reserve Base, 25 Kokomo, 23 at Lafayette and Attica, and still getting gusts near 40, gusting to 36 at Kokomo and 31 at Lafayette over at the Purdue Airport. So wind chills still running as low as about 12 below zero. So tonight, as temperatures continue to fall, and we still have some winds gusting 30 to 40 at times. That's why we've got the wind chill advisory up, and there will be patchy blowing and drifting snow, but it's not going to be really widespread like it has been. A little bit of this cloudiness up here may pivot southward a little bit tonight. Otherwise, it's mostly clear, but we're tracking this system right here in Alberta Clipper that will drop southeastward, and it's going to bring some snow in here tomorrow night and into Monday. 4 below 0 to 2 above tonight. There are the wind chills dropping back down to about 23 below 0. Sustained near about 15 to 17. Some gusts 30 to 40. Patchy blowing and drifting snow. And there you see the lows, and there are the lowest wind chills expected viewing area wide. Major weather change is ahead, but not after we get the snow Monday. We'll show you next.
Thank you, Chad. Thousands of toys are finding their way into the hands of Greater Lafayette kids in need this holiday season. Earlier this week, I met up with the Lafayette chapter of Toys for Tots. Here's how they're giving back, one toy at a time.
No, she's PRN.
The Lafayette Toys for Tots expects to give away about 10,500 toys this holiday season, including all these boxes for patients in the pediatric and emergency departments of Franciscan Health Lafayette East.
As a child, I received a toy from a Marine at an American Legion post during the Christmas time, and I had wanted to give a chance to give back to the community.
Casey Mast is the coordinator of Toys for Tots Lafayette.
We did toy drives when I was in the Navy, and now that I'm able to be back in my own community to help out, I try to do as much as possible.
This year, Toys for Tots has worked with organizations like Lafayette Urban Ministry, Salvation Army, and individual families to get these donated toys to kids in need. Jennifer Eberly of the Franciscan Health Foundation says the donation at least doubled in quantity from last year.
The toys don't have an expiration date, and so we have children who come into our facility throughout the year, and a lot of them come and it's emergency. You don't have time to grab some things that are going to keep them, engaged while they're receiving excellent care. So for us to be able to provide a toy or two is just so grateful and helpful in their recovery process.
We couldn't speak to any of the children or families receiving the toys because of privacy rules at the hospital. But Women's and Children's Services Director Marcia Cherry says these toys are appreciated.
It's just giving them and showing them that there are people that care about you and that we are thinking about you, and it ensures that they have something to celebrate.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
It's a very humbling moment to know that the staff and the volunteers that put all the work into this, where the end result was the child had a great smile and was able to open a toy that they may not have.
In July, Toys for Tots will be distributing books to children in Tippecanoe and surrounding counties. Donations of books and toys are accepted by the organization year-round. The Lafayette Toys for Tots website lists 3 West Lafayette fire stations and 6 Lafayette fire stations as drop sites. Now, putting Christmas lights on the house is a staple for many during the holiday season, but some like to take it to the next level, including right here in Greater Lafayette. This house in Vinton Woods has a whole light show that goes along with your favorite Christmas classics. As you drive by the house, turn your radio to 93.1. The light show has pieces in the yard, in front of the house, and even on the roof. Neighbors driving by to watch the show say it's the best they've seen.
We love to go through neighborhoods and look at people's light shows, but this is by far the best we've seen in Lafayette.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. We love the trees. I wish I could do something like that. It makes me want to do it. So
you can check out the light show on Cedar Lane in Vinton Woods neighborhood from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. throughout Christmas. And as people wrap up their last-minute holiday shopping, News 18's Marcus Truchot caught up with local small businesses to see how they fared this shopping season.
The busiest time of the year for local small retailers is coming to a close. Aurora Wilson, owner of Essentially Aqua in downtown Lafayette, says overall this year wasn't as busy as last year, but the last few weeks before Christmas have been much more busy. Wilson says even though this year's inflation has impacted business, her store has managed well. According to Wilson, the best sellers this year were foaming sugar scrubs, house-made bath bombs, and shower steamers.
Definitely costs have gone up for me as well, and I have to pass that on, and I absolutely hate it, but that's the price of doing business. And so yeah, we have noticed that people are coming in still, but they're maybe not spending as much as they were, and we totally understand, you know, when gas prices go up and food prices go up, you know, becomes definitely a luxury, but people are still coming out and supporting us, and we just really appreciate everybody who comes through the doors.
Hannah Schwartz, Chief Marketing Officer with Antique Candle Company, says that despite the higher costs of materials, business is on par with years past.
The cool trend that we're seeing is a lot of the customers, or we call them candle friends, that we're seeing come out are actually shopping bigger orders. So they're adding more candles to their cart. They are stocking up on everything that they need for their home. And so that has allowed us to see a comparable year.
Not only is it a comparable year, but Schwartz says customers are actually spending more.
We were really strategic this year in making sure that we could offer some intentional products like bundles that have some cost savings for our candle friends, as well as gift sets. And we've actually seen the average order value go up. So people are actually spending more with us.
Both Wilson and Schwartz have a message for the community.
I just really want to thank the community for coming out and supporting small business. We know it's tough. We're feeling the crunch too, and so we know that every person that walks through the door is making a commitment to shop local, and we just really appreciate every single person who does so.
Shopping small means so much. It allows us to, for all of us here, it allows us to do what we love on a day-to-day basis, and it supports our families and our growing families.
Reporting from Lafayette, Marcus Truccio, News 18.
Dangerously low temperatures seem to be in it for the long haul this holiday weekend. Storm Team 18 Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans has a full breakdown of weather for the week between Christmas and New Year's coming up after the break. Stay with us, you don't want to miss it.
And now, your Storm Team 18 forecast. Weather from where you live.
Well, on this Christmas Eve, another bitterly cold night, just not as bad as it has been the past few nights. Still pretty windy, patchy blowing snow, but not as bad again as the past few days. We're tracking though an Alberta Clipper, which is here. Clipper system comes out of the Pacific. A lot of its moisture is squeezed out over the Rockies here, and then when it gets into the Canadian prairies, the difference in height between the mountains and the plains allows for the vorticity to increase, so it spins up. You have a little low that really starts to spin up and produce wind. but it doesn't have a lot of moisture because where is it going to get its moisture? It's way out here in the middle of the Canadian prairies, so it drops to the southeast. And even though they usually don't have much moisture, they're pretty darn good at squeezing out snow and good crystal formation, and they usually produce a good amount of wind as well. And this one's going to drop southeastward and spread snow across the Midwest for Sunday night, and into Monday. Now for us tomorrow, still a good amount of wind in the morning. Gusts 28 to 33, wind chill to 20 below, patchy blowing and drifting. But again, tomorrow's going to be a better day to travel compared to yesterday and today. Even in the afternoon, some gusts up around 21 to 26. Winds out of the west, a high of 13. There you see the highs at 10 to 16, and overall the wind chills tomorrow at 10 below 0 to 3 above. All right, there's the forecast for Monday. Snow starts to come in tomorrow night, lasts through the morning hours, then tapers to flurries and scattered snow showers. Winds out of the south, eventually turning to the northwest with a high of 22. And there are the highs at 27 or 17 to 24, that is. Viewing area wide on Monday. And there you see those wind chills. We're talking single digits to about 12 with patchy blowing and drifting snow. So some cloudiness up here in our northeast tonight, part of tomorrow, but then the clouds increase from the west tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night. And here comes some light snow coming in from the west, snowing early on Monday morning and right through mid-morning some snow. And then it's just some scattered snow showers and flurries around. But then a big weather change occurs. It warms up, it gets windy, and rain starts to come in, believe it or not. Fog and patchy rain on Thursday and Thursday night, turning wet on Friday. Quite a bit of rain coming in with fog, and another round of rain Saturday and into Sunday, mainly Sunday morning. So it could be a wet New Year's Eve and perhaps even a rumble of thunder and quite a bit of wind coming up from the south with very mild temperatures for a change. Then we cool off back to more normal readings after that. But here's your Clipper system. This is the projected snowfall Sunday night and into Monday, especially Monday morning. Your band of heavier snow is really right here to our west and southwest. But for us, I think we could get an inch. A few isolated accounts of maybe an inch and a half or two, but an inch of snow will be pretty common over a lot of the area, it appears right now. 25 and breezy, still cold on Tuesday after 7 in the morning, 38 on Wednesday. But look at that. How about that? How about the 50s? 52 on Thursday, 55 on Friday. A wet New Year's Eve, but warm temperatures running in the 50s, and then beyond that, 50s on Sunday. But that will be in the morning. We'll start to actually get colder next Sunday in the afternoon, with the rain ending as a few flakes. Total of 1 to 2 inches of rain possible Thursday through Sunday, and then highs in the 30s, pretty typical Monday and into Tuesday. So, of course, we got the Santa tracker, Perry. NORAD's tracking Santa right now.
Headed to Ontario.
He's in Ontario right as we speak. That's not that far away.
Not far from us at all. Yeah, that's on our continent. We are so excited.
Yes.
He's making great time. In the 6 p.m. we checked, he was in Africa. He was in southern Africa. And now he is headed to Canada. So not too far from us at all, you guys. You better get to bed, any kids who are waiting for Santa to come.
Do it very soon, because I've seen him. He's pretty efficient, and when he's in Canada, it's a matter of a couple hours or a few hours till he gets here.
I mean, that magical super speed.
It is.
Yeah,
There it
definitely.
is.
But
Yeah.
for those of us who don't have magical super speed, we got to wait until tomorrow morning to travel.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, thank you.